Whenever we get rain like we've had the last couple of days, you can pretty much guarantee certain roads are going to flood. Fox 47's Kellen Buddy tells us how local road departments are trying to prevent that from happening.
Although it's a fairly well-drained county, there's a lot of low-lying areas in the county that are prone to flooding, and we keep an eye on those areas.
Aurelius Township has been a hot spot for flooding this year. Many streets are flooded and some closed. Farmlands and plains taking the brunt of excess rain. The water having nowhere else to go.
With the amount of rain we've had in the last month or so, there's a lot of water in the ground, so the ability of the ground in the rural areas to absorb water is becoming fairly limited. And so each successive rain is building up more water on the ground.
Conklin says the Ingham County Road Department hasn't exactly fallen behind, but they are busier than normal, trying to keep the flooding to a minimum.
Our crews do on these rainy days check for debris that may be washed into the culverts and removing that to try to get the water to drain away.
But when the rain stops and they have a few dry days to get ahead of that next downpour, the road department only has a handful of options to curb the flooding.
In our rural areas, there are some roads that have flooded in the past that we've done what we call lifts on to raise up the road surface and put larger culverts underneath.
Conklin says they've raised roads in most of those rural areas.
In other areas, due to the development in the area, it's not really possible to raise the roads.
If those roads can't be lifted, he says the best way to let the flooding subside is to let Mother Nature take its course.
There's not a lot you can do when you're having this heavy a rain and have had this much rain soaking the ground.
Kellen Buddy, Fox 47 News.
Make sure you don't try to drive on any flooded roads, even if it seems like the water isn't that deep. You don't know what's lurking under that water or if it's deep enough to sweep your car away.